Good morning and welcome to another Wednesday Waffles. Today I'm going to show you a couple of different effects and layer blending. So we have the VU meter. The VU meter, this one, I have changed the type to time and event time chase from middle. It's quite far down on the list. All these timing ones are really good. And I have got my drums as my beats. And I have changed the timing track to drums. I've got it on my windows and I have got it per model default, which looks good. It's quite big. It's red and white. I can change this bars to make it a lot smaller. So if we play that, that's good. But as it flashes to the drums, I also want the colour to change to the drums. So I could add another VU meter underneath. And this time, the VU meter, I could change the type to time and event colour. Now, when I do that, one underneath the other, it then makes the background change colour, but then the movement change colour. So when we play, you've got two colours going. But I don't want it to do that. So if I click on the top one and go to layer blending, this normal I change to one is true unmasked. Then when we play, it's changing the colour to the drums, but then it's also moving to the drums, which is really good. If I was to bring this bottom one, no, the top one down to my rosa feathers, and I get rid of this back to normal, if we look at the rosa feathers, no, I'm not really keen on that. If I change this default to per model default, oh, it's going in and out. I could change the bars and it makes it smaller. Change the bars up, makes it bigger. So it's going in and out. But I could also change the type to spike. Now it only uses the first colour, so it's only using white. And that is quite, ooh. So if I change the bars up really high, it's now bouncing, but it's still only white. So if I added this one again, time and event colour, underneath it, and then the top one, I changed the layer blending again to one is true unmasked. It's now changing the colour of it as well as bouncing around. So it's good to have a play with the layer blending, the render style, because if I change that render style, it's doing different again. If I change it to default, well, that looks totally different. I don't like that at all. Change the bars. It's making it look totally different. So here, what do we have here? That's just a copy of what one of them we've just used. So then if we go on to pinwheel, is it? I'm not very good with the names. Pinwheel. So we've got a pinwheel. We've got one colour, 6 arms with a bit of a twist. Yeah, it's all right, but it's not really doing a lot. If I copy that, paste it underneath, the bottom one, I change the colour to white. You can't see it because it's doing exactly the same and it's behind the red. If I change the rotation, yeah, you can see it. But if I also change the twist and get rid of that minus, wow, look now. That's good. Both working together. Now I could add the warp on. And you can change the warp type. There's many different ones. And now it's making it look different again. I could also add the curtain. If I swap the warp out for the curtain is going left. Let's change it to the centre. Curtain's opening on top of it. I don't really want to see the curtain. Change it. I could have it a colour. If I take the colours off, it still makes it white, because if you don't have a colour added, it makes it white. So I could change the layer blending on the top one from normal to one is true unmasked. The curtain's opening, but now there's no colour. I could also have it closing. That's good. What about another one? Spirals. So I've got spirals going along. Let's copy that and stick it underneath. Change the colour to white. You can't see the white again because it's under the red. If we change the spirals wrap to minus, it's then going the opposite way. And we could add a warp on that. And let's go with water drops. That looks good. The warp doesn't need a layer blending change. It just changes whatever's underneath it. What's this one we've got? So this one is the VU again. Timing event bar. I've got it to 6, so it jumps up the tree in 6 to the drums. So if we watch that. Now, how did I do that? Because if I was to normally add that on, it would be long. Well, this time I changed the transformation. Because if I left it as it was, it's going sideways. Change it to rotate and it bounces up. Add the warp on. Now this one I did a little different, because if you just add the swirl on, it's in the middle. If I change my X, if I change this to timing track toggle and I add the drums in, then it's going to make it bounce up the same as the VU. So now looks good, that. Whereas before, if that was taken off, so a few different things there. Hope this has helped. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.